Oh, guys. Loki's back here like, well, no. You guys know I practice a lot of stuff before it come on. And I was going to do this thing about Matthew Lesko. He's a guy that he's an American icon. Every American knows him, or at least knows of him. He's that crazy question mark suit guy that shouts about giving you free government money. That guy. And it wasn't working out. And then I went and I looked up my horoscope because I'm like, well, maybe there will be something there. And I do not like being horoscopes because they sound like a bitchy scold wrote them that knows nothing about, horoscopes and just writes random shit. And they repeat themselves a lot. So I was like, well, this is a wasted time. And it's like, it's one of those things that kind of makes you mad because if you're supposed to value horoscopes, they should be useful. And these are never useful and they're never right. They're not like within a day or so right. I used to get these things called star scrolls. Those are spookily accurate. I do free will astrology. His thing. His is pretty good, but this stuff that they do is worse than useless. I found another one that I put up on Facebook. I'm trying to think where it comes from, but it's like from the culture section of some paper. And that's pretty good. But these are worse than useless. These are the kind of things that this is why nobody believes in horoscopes. Because this shit's so random and you could tell they didn't give two shits about writing it. That it could apply to absolutely any sign. In fact, they have swapped, because I get bored and nosy and I look at them. They just swap these messages every couple of days. That's how they do their horoscope. I'm like, you lazy ass son of a bitch. That's not even a horoscope. You're insulting. I could do a better job. Anyhow. Hermes is kind of reminding me, find the thing you do and do it well, and find the people that do things and do it well, and don't go to the people that do things horribly. There's no reason for me to waste my time looking up this horoscope. I have 2 horoscopes, but since I like to see it daily, I keep going back to this stupid thing, and it's horrible. And it's not even worth my time, because most of the time it pisses me off because it's bitchy, scoldy, holier-than-thou bullshit about, act totally against your sign, and everything will turn out right. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm a Gemini, I'll do what I want. And I usually will probably end up being more hedonistic than normal, because today's bitchy advice was, you have to start a better lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. Screw you. Anyhow, it's the fact that they don't care that pisses me off. I don't care if it's free. They don't care. They're not making an effort. They're not even remotely trying to practice astrology. If they were trying and just really piss poor at it, that would be okay, because at least they'd be putting in an effort. But you can tell they're not trying. This isn't even astrology. So, Hermes' kind of message was, like I said, find the person that does it well and go with that person, even if you're not getting the content in the form you want. A lot of people couldn't stand Matthew Lesko because he jumps around, he shouts, he screams, and he wears these loud outfits, and he comes off as a clown, but he's actually providing a legitimate service, and he's trying to get people excited about going to the government and getting the money that's theirs. There are all these government programs, and if you qualify for one, you can get the money. It's not always as easy as that. If you've ever dealt with the U.S. government, nothing is always that easy, but he can at least point you in the right direction. Let's put it that way. And Hermes has kind of been pushing me since he's related to astrology. He's like, you really have to find a daily that makes sense and isn't this piss poor, and you could do it better. Because when a Gemini thinks they can do it better, we're done with you. We're done with you. We're totally not going to take your advice. In fact, we'll go against your advice just to prove how wrong you are. So, I'm going to be on the lookout for another horoscope that I can read on the daily. I'm just going to have to start looking at papers and see, which online paper has one that I can, halfway stand and sounds halfway reasonable. And there are daily horoscopes out there. So I have to look for one. And it was also a thing of, you can either spend time or money, because the Matthew Lesko profile, what he used to do is he would have people pay him $100 an hour to go do research. Now, these were big businesses, so $100 an hour was nothing to them. And they would rather spend the money than spend the time. And I could have spent the money on an Amazon subscription or spend the time waiting. It will be at least the 10th until we have the statue. At least the 10th. Remember, a holiday that means nothing anymore ever in America is coming up, which means everything's going to be kittywampus. If you're getting stuff shipped for 3 or 4 days, everything's going to be off. Because of a holiday that doesn't mean anything anymore, even though people had to fight for it. Welcome to America. So, it was a really interesting lesson from Hermes about, either I could have spent the money, I could have spent the $14.95 or whatever it would have worked out to, or $18.95 when I was checking out, or I could spend time. So was it worth 2 weeks at least time waiting to save this money? Now I'm saying no, because I could have the statue today. I could have it in my hands, still sitting in Amazon. And the ship has sailed my children for me to get faster shipping speed. I'm locked in. It's not even, so far as I know, in the pipeline to be shipped. I'm locked in. And it's just, I'm going crazy because the worst thing on Gemini's is waiting. It's actually torture for us, and it's like, I have 9 days at least to wait. 9 days? I can't make it. And I'm worried because I got groceries from them, also not as a Prime member, and they decided to throw one little piece of packaging in there, and the cans of pork came in, but they rolled around like loose cannons, and they kept rolling over the breakfast bars like rolling pins. Lovely. And I thought, nobody ships well anymore because all these companies are hiring, probably understaffing, and there's just not enough time for the workers that are being pushed to properly pack stuff. So it all just gets thrown into a box and you get it whatever. I miss the old days. I miss 10, 20 years ago when it shipped, it usually shipped okay. Okay, I'm probably having a bad memory. I seem to remember stuff coming in broken, but still, it was more the exception than the rule. And now I have to wait. I have to wait probably at least 10 days because they're saying it'll come on the 10th. And honestly, sometimes with Amazon, that means they'll ship it on the 10th. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting for these supposed psychic gifts to kick in because I keep getting these signs like 1111, all this other omen stuff about some kind of psychic intuition is going to kick in. And I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. I have no idea what it's supposed to be. And I'm like, I don't even know if it exists at this point. I just know that we're going to have a holiday that everybody is asking me how I'm going to celebrate. And my friends know, I don't have anyone to celebrate with. And they're like, oh, what are you doing for the holiday? Forgetting it's a holiday and being bitter and discontent? What do you ask? Oh, because I'm going to a party. Okay, tittles. Why do people do that? Why do people do that to people they know are not going anywhere? Like what? I magically grow wings on every holiday, and yeah, I fly to the hottest party in town, and I enjoy myself greatly. No, I'm not doing anything for Memorial Day, sitting here, just ignoring the holiday like I always do, and thinking mean thoughts about people that are going to parties. That's all we do. All seriousness, though, we're probably not going to do anything. I mean, if we were going to do something, we would have started today, like start the pork or something, but I'm like, ugh, it's too hot to cook, so I'm not doing anything. Ever. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.